You've probably seen the Mate XT, right? But I bet you haven't seen one like this. It's broken. That's why I always say, if you're buying something like this, get the screen protection plan. This thing is way too fragile.
The Huawei Mate XT, which launched on September 20th, is a foldable phone, but just a week in, it's already facing a lot of screen damage issues. The screen is so fragile that even with slight mishandling or a small bump, the liquid crystal would leak, or the screen might crack. In the video, a guy got his hands on the Huawei foldable phone and was really excited to try it out. He couldn't wait to show it off to his friends, so he quickly unboxed it and started playing with it. But while folding and unfolding it, the screen developed a black line right down the middle. He was totally shocked. The phone was still on the welcome screen, and he had already messed up the hardware. Some people are sarcastically praising Huawei's latest ink screen technology. Recently, another person shared a photo of their brand new Mate XT with a damaged screen. The middle of the screen had turned completely black, with parts of the sides also darkening. In the video, there's a caption saying, "My brother just unboxed this afternoon, and by night it's broken. Can you imagine how upset he is?" On September 27th, the owner of an electronics store from Suzhou shared a video.
This might be the first Mate XT in China to have a screen issue right after being unboxed. He sent it to a customer, and as soon as it was powered on, they noticed a line on the screen. Now they have to return it to Huawei.
Another customer reported that their Mate XT screen had creases and uneven areas in the fold region, even before using it. With all the problems popping up right after the Mate XT's launch, many people are commenting, buying the Huawei foldable is just for people with too much money and too little sense. It's basically an intelligence test. That foldable screen is just a cover-up for the CCP's failures, and people still think it's some kind of technological breakthrough? The foldable screen itself is fragile, so most manufacturers include a normal outer screen as a backup. They fold the screen inward for better protection, but for some reason, Huawei decided to put the fragile outer screen on the outside, completely disregarding durability. What's the core advantage of a trifold phone compared to current consumer electronics? Or what kind of differentiated experience does a trifold phone priced over 20,000 yuan bring to consumers? A consumer from Anhui named Zhang shared his thoughts. He believes that compared to traditional smartphones, the trifold phones has no advantage in terms of repair costs, portability, or price. Compared to tablets, the gaming experience isn't as good, and overall usability falls short. When comparing it to a business laptop, he and his colleagues have either used to Apple or Microsoft operating systems. The trifold phone is even more expensive than a high-end business laptop. For daily work and business interactions, a large foldable screen just isn't necessary. If it's purely for entertainment and a bigger screen, why not just buy a large TV or projector? A phone salesperson from Henan, Hu Yang, feels the same. He told the media that many customers he interacts with care more about the phone's specs and performance rather than the screen. Consumers mainly use phones for gaming, payments, short videos, and social media. Some adjust based on their job or personal habits. He feels that current smartphones don't lack functionality. In fact, they offer more than necessary. One user posted on Weibo saying that the trifold screen is pretty meaningless. First, when dual-fold screens are only being unfolded 20% of the time, the trifold, which requires a lock mechanism, would be used even less. Dual-fold screens maintain 80% of the experience of a regular screen, but a trifold phone might keep only 60%. Second, foldable screens are naturally more prone to damage, and cable repairs are quite common. Creases, cable wear, and minor impacts all require factory repairs, which are expensive. The inner screen repair for the Huawei Mate X5 Premium Edition cost 5,599 yuan, and the Mate XT will only be more. Third, to make dual-fold screens thinner, compromises were made in many areas, including image quality, battery life, fingerprint sensors, and other components. The trifold screen will have even less room for optimization. Fourth, despite years of adapting to dual-screen foldables, many apps still aren't fully optimized. Video distortion, lag when switching screens, and a drop in overall experience are still frequent. The trifold screen is unlikely to improve on this. On September 16th, car reviewer Chen Zhen received a sample of the Mate XT trifold phone and shared his experience on Weibo. He admitted that the phone gave him a sense of being watched, and his experience was far from pleasant. When discussing the phone's performance, Chen Zhen noted, "Regarding the crease issue, any foldable screen will show creases when light reflects off of it, but when looking directly at the screen, the fold is almost invisible on the foldables I've tested so far." As a tech and car reviewer, Chen Zhen doesn't use his phone for viewing spreadsheets or presentations, so he has no need for a large foldable screen, which is why he didn't have a high opinion of the trifold phone. Currently, videos of Huawei's trifold phone breaking are quickly being censored on platforms like Douyin. On September 10th, Huawei officially launched the Mate XT trifold phone. Sales started on September 20th in China. When fully unfolded, the screen size is comparable to a small computer or tablet. It's already a very expensive phone, starting at 19,999 yuan, and the high-end version is priced at 23,999 yuan. There's been quite a lot of criticism online about the latest phone. Besides its high price and outdated color choices, the biggest complaint is its lack of practicality. One consumer said, "If I'm on the go, I want something lightweight that I can use with one hand, but if I'm sitting down, why wouldn't I just use a larger, flat tablet instead?" The outrageous price of the Huawei trifold phone may reflect the company's struggles with a shortage of domestically produced chips. This, along with high production costs and low output, contributes to the steep pricing. According to a report by YouAnalyze, Huawei has faced supply chain challenges in producing the Mate XT. Key components like the screen, glass cover, and hinge are reportedly experiencing yield issues. As a result, the initial production batch of the Mate XT was limited to just 500,000 units. When Huawei launched its new trifold screen, it didn't reveal which chip it would use. However, many Chinese media outlets predicted that it would be equipped with the same Kirin 9010 overclocked chip as Huawei's Pure 70 Pro. Some believe Huawei's biggest hurdle remains acquiring advanced chips. Since the U.S. sanctions began in 2019, Huawei has been unable to purchase high-performance foreign chips, forcing it to rely on older equipment for design and production, which results in a low yield rate. The Mate 60 Pro, which released in August last year, was found to be using a 7nm chip produced by China's SMIC, Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation. SMIC uses multi-patterning technology on deep ultraviolet DUV lithography machines to make these chips. However, this process is costly, with low production volumes and poor yields. While DUV lithography can achieve a 95% yield rate for 14nm chips, the yield rate for 7nm chips is only 15%, making mass production nearly impossible. Given these challenges, it's unlikely that Huawei will be able to sell this phone in large quantities due to limited supplies. In other words, supply chain bottlenecks will continue to limit Huawei's ability to upgrade its products and remain competitive. Foldable phones have been on the market for 5 years now, and with the latest release, some netizens are claiming that Huawei stole Samsung's technology. According to a 2019 CNN report, Samsung's foldable screen technology was stolen and sold to 2 Chinese companies. Samsung spent 6 years and around $130 million developing this technology. Recently, Huawei has been showcasing its foldable phone, which some claim uses technology stolen from Samsung. 11 South Koreans were involved in selling Samsung's OLED foldable screen technology and schematics to China, earning $14 million from the deal. These individuals used a shell company to carry out the transaction, and 3 of them were detained. Since Huawei's Mate XT was unveiled, it has sparked a buying frenzy in secondary markets. Prices soared tens of thousands of yuan, but due to weak demand and overly high prices, market premiums quickly plummeted. This indicates that foldable phones are still struggling to enter the mainstream market, and will likely remain niche in the short term. Soon after the trifold phone launched, the term scalper price collapse began trending. Scalpers left with unsold inventory were forced to slash prices in an effort to recover their funds. A scalper shared that on the day the Mate XT was released, he sold one for as much as 90,000 yuan, but just a few days later, the price plummeted to under 30,000 yuan. He likened the experience to trading stocks, describing it as a roller coaster ride. Another scalper, who had 3 units in stock, said he had to pay a markup of 1,000 to 1,500 yuan when purchasing them from individuals. Now, with the resale prices dropping, he's facing cost pressures and will lose money if prices continue to fall. This situation proves that short-term hype can be artificially created through scarcity marketing and publicity stunts. True high-end products, however, are not built on temporary scarcity alone. Some netizens criticized this as the worst kind of performance, saying it was an obvious attempt to deceive the public through self-directed hype. Other users believe there are 2 main reasons for the price collapse of the Huawei Mate XT on the scalper market.
Huawei's trifold phone hasn't even been on sale for 2 days, and scalpers are already losing their minds. Initially, they marked it up by tens of thousands of yuan, then reduced it to a few thousand, and now even a small markup doesn't attract buyers. There are 2 key reasons for this. First, it's a niche product, almost like a gimmick. Second, with the current economic situation, even wealthy people are reconsidering whether it's worth spending 20,000 yuan on a phone. So, in the end, this phone's sales won't be great.
Most regular consumers aren't keen on new foldable phones like the trifold. In fact, many are put off by the complex structure and high repair costs. Even Huawei's regular foldable phones have a high failure rate, and currently no foldable phone brand on the market has solved the issue of screen creases. Recently, a Xiaohongshu user named Ji Mei spent 17,000 yuan on a Huawei Mate X5 foldable phone, only to have the screen leak liquid from the folding area in less than a month. When she contacted Huawei customer service, they immediately guessed it was due to user error without inspecting the device. She called them 6 times, and each time they insisted she pay for the repairs herself. In a video, Ji Mei expressed her frustration, saying all 6 customer service reps refused to repair her phone for free. However, they did offer her a special discount for the repairs, but she still would have to pay 2,999 yuan. Ji Mei refused their offer, stating that after such a poor experience, she wouldn't even be willing to spend 100 yuan on repairs, fearing the phone would break again soon. She also criticized Huawei's customer service for being irresponsible. She made it clear that she won't let the matter rest because the phone broke within a month, and the company showed no intention of helping, which she found completely unreasonable. Ji Mei also mentioned that after exposing the issue on social media, many people commented, saying they experienced similar problems, with some even having more serious issues. She accused Huawei of bullying customers and vowed to continue fighting for her rights. She also shared a screenshot from a chat in her social media circle, where a Chinese netizen commented on Huawei's foldable phone launch, saying that Huawei's foldable screens are constantly having accidents, with no resolution for the screen leakage issue. They also questioned whether the trifold screen would fare any better, warning others to avoid the trap. In the video, the person didn't specify when the issue occurred. The Mate X5 was released by Huawei on September 8, 2023, with the premium edition priced at 16,999 yuan in China. Complaints about Huawei foldable screens cracking and leaking fluid have been flooding the internet.
I spent over 10,000 yuan on a phone, and after just 3 months, the screen broke. I asked for a replacement, but they told me it wasn't possible. Now I've had to spend 4,000 yuan out of my own pocket to fix it. People always say we should support domestic brands, but for a phone that costs over 10,000 yuan, this kind of issue is just unacceptable.
The man in the video, who's from Hubei, bought a Huawei foldable phone, and less than 3 months later, the screen started leaking. He requested a replacement, but the store refused, saying that the phone failed a drop test and replacing it wasn't an option. Another user posted a video warning against buying Huawei foldable phones, saying their phone stopped working after just a month. The touchscreen became completely unresponsive, and replacing it costs over 2,000 yuan. They sarcastically added that even if they replaced it, they'd have to treat it like an ancestor to keep it from breaking again, calling the device industrial waste. On March 25th, a user on an online community shared a post complaining about their Huawei Mate X5. Within a month of purchase, the inner screen had already broken. The post stated, "I bought the Mate X5 on February 24th, and less than a month later, on March 21st, I noticed liquid leaking and light bleeding from the lower left corner of the screen. I rushed to the Huawei service center, only for them to insist it was my fault, saying the inner screen is fragile and even a tiny grain of sand could damage it." The user wrote, "I was totally confused. I didn't drop it, bump it, or anything. I still don't know how it broke. If I have to replace the screen, it'll cost 3,699 yuan. It's infuriating. I've called customer service multiple times, but the issue still hasn't been resolved. If this is the quality of Huawei's foldable phones, how can we keep supporting them? I seriously advise everyone not to buy foldable phones." On Huawei's forums and the fan club, there are many similar complaints about foldable phones. One user even said they had to replace their screen 5 times in just 4 months. On the Black Cat consumer complaint platform, there are 282 complaints related to Huawei foldable phones, most of which concern screen quality issues. Models like the Huawei P50 Pocket, Mate XS2, and Mate X5 were commonly mentioned. Key issues include screen leaks causing discoloration, creases, light spots, and black dots. Huawei claims that its foldable phones have undergone tens of thousands, even over 200,000 folding tests. However, many consumers are skeptical, asking, how is it that a foldable screen, supposedly tested so many times, breaks so easily? Despite the numerous complaints about foldable screen quality, Huawei has yet to give a clear response. For most consumers, when they encounter issues with their foldable screen, the phone can't be repaired, and they have to pay for a replacement. With repair costs often running into the thousands of yuan, the burden is significant. Moreover, even during the warranty period, many consumers have reported that customer service rejects free repairs by blaming the issues on user error. The fact that foldable phones have faced so many quality issues in less than 3 years on the market doesn't match their high price. It also goes against the principle that you get what you pay for. The high failure rates, steep repair costs, and poor after-sales service raise doubts about the viability of foldable screen technology. Huawei's phones seem to be more style than substance.